Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star original continent based on novel. So let's start. Other than the two Holy Land ancestors, Huge Axe Creator was known to be one of the top great beings within the whole universe ocean, and Primal Chaos City Leader was even more composed by nature with a steady disposition. While the inheritance of the pulse of Duandong River was able to send these two into disarray, and get them all worked up, the deal with East Emperor Holy Land that Luo Feng had now appeared to inform them about also came across as a shock to both of them. 10 Supreme True Treasures. Primal Chaos City Leader could not help but exclaim. No matter how powerful one is, seizing 10 Supreme True Treasures is an impossible mission. Up until today, no one has ever independently seized 10 Supreme True Treasures, said Huge Axe Creator. Even for Teacher Ancestor, I think it would also be too difficult to achieve. After all, when a Universe Supreme Master wields his power with a Supreme True Treasure, even Teacher Origin will not have the confidence of complete annihilation. Especially if the Universe Supreme Master is hiding in a palace-type Supreme True Treasure, he will be safe even if he is confronted by another great being of Universe Ocean. The very thought of killing another great being to steal his Supreme True Treasure is simply unrealistic. Huge Axe Creator nodded. He looked toward Luo Feng with an expression filled with approval and admiration and said, "Luo Feng, you have created a new record." "Impressive," Primal Chaos City Leader said, burning with passion. Luo Feng replied right away, "I am not the impressive one. The impressive one is the inheritance of the pulse of Duandong River." Indeed. If a Universe Supreme Master hid within his palace-type Supreme True Treasure, then no one would be able to force his way through. Not even Teacher Origin could achieve that. Only certain unique environments within the three most dangerous lands, or some techniques of ancient civilizations, could bring them to annihilation. Fortunately, palace-type Supreme True Treasures were rare. This was why Teacher Origin could become such a strong deterrent force. "Not 10 of them at one go, that's too exaggerated," Luo Feng explained. "That East Emperor ancestor is not so foolish. Even for his own East Emperor Holy Land, taking out 10 Supreme True Treasures would be a massive responsibility to shoulder. He would never give 10 of them to me without seeing that inheritance for himself." "That's fine." Huge Axe laughed with gaiety. "Just the collateral for the first part of the deal, we can secure 2 Supreme True Treasures, one of which is a palace-type Supreme True Treasure. With these two, our human race will gain more clout. We may be powerful enough, but the moment we are besieged, we are in deep trouble. Nothing much to say for now. We must first make this palace-type True Treasure ours. With it and my godly axe working hand in hand, I will truly be fearless. Anytime I am confronted with a siege, I will not have a trace of fear. I will have the guts to fight 10, or even more than 10, Universe Supreme Masters all by myself." Luo Feng could not help bursting into laughter. Huge Axe Creator was certainly. "Indeed, I am desperate for this palace Supreme True Treasure." Huge Axe said, "Regardless of whether it is your sharing with and teaching us about your experience with the ancient civilization's various systems of cultivation, or this Supreme True Treasure, your contribution to the race is boundless. This palace-type True Treasure is a great favor that I owe you." "My intention was to contribute it to the race in the first place," Luo Feng replied. He already had Star Tower. Why should he make such a specific demand for this, then? It was really just for Huge Axe. Having wandered about Universe Ocean, he had deeply felt the cruelty as various groups of powers fought one another. When different clans crossed paths, the best-case scenario would be cruel killing because of a true treasure. On the flip side, the killings could be as terrible as mindless slaughter, even without the temptation of a true treasure involved. However, the stronger a group was, the less inclined the others were in daring to advocate provocation. If one's race had a top great being of Universe Ocean, then that race was certainly on a different level of prestige. The moment other races crossed paths with any human great beings, the first to come to mind would be Huge Axe, and none of them would dare stir up trouble. He was the pillar holding up the race. This time, there are 2 supreme great treasures. Huge Axe looked at Luo Feng. One for me and one for you. No, the other one is for teacher, Luo Feng said and looked toward Primal Chaos City Leader. Me? Primal Chaos City Leader was slightly taken aback. Huge Axe was the pillar of support for the human race, so giving him a supreme true treasure would greatly benefit the race. Besides, Huge Axe had contributed greatly to the human race. It was a given that he was a deserving recipient of the supreme true treasure. Everyone would peacefully accept this decision. And Luo Feng's contribution was equally great. He was the one who earned the supreme true treasures, and with the inheritance of the pulse of Duandong River, his future was limitless. So if he were to be given a supreme true treasure, everyone would unanimously agree, too. But giving it to Primal Chaos City Leader. Luo Feng, you should take this, Primal Chaos City Leader said solemnly. This is a supreme true treasure. Yes, you should have it, Huge Axe agreed with equal solemnity. We cannot have you constantly contributing without any reward. Teacher, I have the inheritance of the pulse of Duandong River. Do you think that as an heir to the pulse of Duandong River, there won't be any weapon being prepared for me? Luo Feng jested. The moment he said this, Huge Axe Creator and Primal Chaos City Leader looked at one another with the same thought in mind. True, what Luo Feng said made sense. The inheritance of the pulse of Duandong River would indeed prepare the most suitable weapon for its heir. And the power of this weapon would certainly be quite superior. Supreme true treasure? Huge Axe Creator asked with some surprise. Luo Feng nodded. The categorization of weapons within Universe Ocean was very defined. So long as the secret techniques of true treasure weapons could attain the level of a Universe Supreme Master, or beyond, all of these would be supreme true treasures. Supreme true treasures topped the ranks in Universe Ocean. Even for any extremely formidable true treasure, for instance, one that exceeded the level of a Universe Supreme Master, giving it to Universe Supreme Masters would be a waste of a resource. The weapon would be beyond their capability to wield, and they would struggle to get the treasure to unleash its full power. This was why the Blade Embryo, Shawu Wings, and others were still considered to be supreme true treasures according to the categorization system of Universe Ocean. This will not do. Primal Chaos City Leader shook his head. This is an opportunity that is hard to come by. A great being with 2 supreme true treasures, what about it? It means you will be safer. If you receive that inheritance, I believe you will be able to make it into the ranks of Universe Supreme Masters. It is only a matter of time. Teacher, let's take it, as I am the one who got this supreme true treasure, and then I handed it over to you, Luo Feng said with a chuckle. Primal Chaos City Leader was momentarily shocked. It's a deal, then. Luo Feng stood up. I still have to make my way out of the universe boat, and that will take me almost 1,000 years. No rush, no rush. Luo Feng vanished into thin air. Primal Chaos City Leader and Huge Axe Creator looked at one another. Look. Huge Axe Creator sighed. At the very beginning, who could have been worried that this Luo Feng, who was rising so rapidly, like Flame Emperor did, would be as selfish as Flame Emperor? A selfish but talented and powerful great being will, on the contrary, be a threat to his race. The truth. Luo Feng is indeed remarkable. He is much stronger than Flame Emperor, and has met with more mysterious and magical opportunities and encounters, yet, he turned out to be a much better person compared to the majority of Universe Masters from our race. True. Primal Chaos City Leader also nodded in agreement. Great beings always considered themselves first. This was typical. The choices made at critical moments would explain certain problems. This time, Luo Feng unexpectedly dedicated the second supreme true treasure to Primal Chaos City Leader. Certainly, this was a gesture that touched Primal Chaos City Leader deeply. The boat of Mausoleum had shrunk to the size of a walnut, roaming about through the vast universe boat fraught with dangers. But of course, it was heading in the direction that would lead to the outside world. Once it entered a domain that allowed for teleportation, it would carry out extensive teleportation to cover a more substantial distance as it made its way outward. Even so, the estimated time required to finally make it out of the universe boat would still be close to 1,000 years. Teacher has been showering me with so much kindness, Luo Feng said to himself. When I make it out of the universe boat, I will be able to seize that white pair of wings very soon. And the reason why I am able to seize them, in fact, the source of everything, is because from the beginning, teacher bestowed me with that pair of Shawu wings. Thus, I am able to obtain the white pair of wings. So now, dedicating this supreme true treasure to teacher is something I should do. Shawu wings were comprised of a total of 6 pairs of wings. It was an automaton-type treasure. The attack power it could execute was extremely strong, especially after conversion by the origin. This automaton-type treasure could usually allow a great being to skip grades in battles due to the increase in power. Therefore, in the ancient civilization, it was an extremely popular type, almost comparable to close-range combat-type treasures. However, the nearer one progressed toward the peak, the more difficult it was for an automaton type to advance, because the closer one got, the more the stringent requirements would be expected of the automaton treasure, without even considering skipping grades in battle. Creating an automaton-type treasure that was compatible with oneself was extremely difficult. Of course, in the context of the ancient civilization, Luo Feng was merely considered to be at an ordinary level. That was why owning Shawu wings would greatly benefit him. It's just a pity that even after adding on the white pair of wings, I still only have 3 pairs, Luo Feng said to himself. Where are the other 3 pairs? For countless years, Shawu wings has been broken up. The white pair of wings is damaged while the other 5 pairs are all severely impaired. Thus, their powers are greatly reduced. For the other 5 pairs of wings, every individual pair only has the power of an ordinary true treasure. So if any of them were seized by Universe Masters, or Universe Supreme Masters, they will likely be casually tossed into some treasure vault, or bestowed to Universe Knights. Luo Feng thought about it for a moment. That was what Primal Chaos City Leader had done when he got hold of a pair of wings. He had handed them over to Luo Feng right away. And the second pair had been obtained from Tian Yang Knight. If any of the wings were really thrown into some treasure vault by random great beings, or carried about by some Universe Knight within a certain miniature universe, then there was really nothing that Luo Feng could do further. I will have to depend on my luck, then, Luo Feng told himself. Out of the 6 pairs of wings, the white wings are the sharpest and strongest. Most importantly, they bear the origin. Even if I did have the other 3 pairs, it would be meaningless. Luo Feng consoled himself in this fact. Getting out of the universe boat required close to 1,000 years. Luo Feng continued to comprehend and cultivate extermination and Donghua. Even with an increase of 10,000 times in time velocity, up until now, he had merely completed a thorough comprehension of the first volumes of Extermination and Donghua. These 2 sets of knowledge were highly profound, even in the first volume. Luo Feng knew what must be done, but he was still unable to grasp the mysteries within them. In the blink of an eye, almost 1,000 years had passed. In one of the broken caves within the vast and quiet universe boat, a crimson pagoda flashed by. Shortly after, it executed repeated teleportation, and immediately charged out into the vast chaotic airflow. Ha ha ha. Finally, I'm out of the universe boat. Piece of cake, isn't it? After being in a rush for such a long time. Within the Crimson Pagoda, Luo Feng laughed heartily. This Crimson Pagoda was actually Star Tower in another form. After he had shaken off the group of Universe Supreme Masters that were after him, he had flown for more than 100 years before switching over from the boat of Mausoleum to continue his flight on Star Tower. Because the boat of Mausoleum was incapable of taking another form and was too eye-catching, once the other great beings caught sight of it, they could quickly guess that Luo Feng must be inside the boat of Mausoleum. That was why Star Tower was transformed to take on a new look, a crimson, 3-storied pagoda. After such a long wait, I am finally out of the universe boat. Within Star Tower, Luo Feng was in high spirits as he looked out at the endless chaotic airflow. For such a long time, I did not dare to continue cultivating and comprehending the laws, as I was afraid that I would accidentally become a universe master. Then I would not be able to get the white pair of wings to recognize me as master. Cultivation and comprehension were concepts that were difficult to explain. When comprehending the heart of Beast God, which involved a secret technique of an extremely high level, it was inevitably easy for him to accidentally become a universe master. Or easy for him to achieve a breakthrough. Or even to experience a temporary pause for a short period at a certain threshold, like when he had been stuck at the threshold of a universe night for a short period. But, unquestionably, even if he were to get stuck at a threshold, it would not be for long. Mainly because Luo Feng had accumulated a sizable amount of experience. Before I return to the original universe, I shall first head for Tilted Peak region, where I will seize that white pair of wings. Let's set off. For Tilted Peak region. Space of the wings. Luo Feng manipulated Star Tower, and amidst the endless chaotic airflow, he started teleporting to advance toward his destination. It was far from Universe Ocean to Tilted Peak sector. However, when using teleportation and natural wormholes, it took much less time than traveling inside Universe Boat. The water was tumbling in Tilted Peak sector, and there was a bloody tower floating above the waters. It's Tilted Peak sector. Luo Feng, in the body of Golden Horned Beast, was looking down in Star Tower. It's only been tens of thousands of years since the last time I came here. Only tens of thousands of years. The White Wing hasn't found a master yet. His Shawu Wing had already had a spirit. The White Wing also had a spirit. If they were combined, only one of the spirits could survive, and with Luo Feng's affirmation, Shawu would definitely be the only one that survived. The spirit of the White Wing would be annihilated, which was why the White Wing had gone crazy the last time Luo Feng was there. It can't find a new master after countless universe eras, so it would be impossible for it to find a new master in only tens of hundreds of years. Luo Feng smirked. The bloody tower teleported and dived into the waters. It teleported itself several times in the water. With the supreme true treasure, he went straight toward the cave. Traveling along the dark cave and passing 9 light screens, the bloody tower entered the wing space. Blade storms filled the entire space. The bloody tower shrank to the size of a speck of dust, and it approached that gleaming light wing. After almost a month, it finally reached the area in front of the light wing. White Wing. Golden Horned Luo Feng saw the core of the light wing, and the scratches and blood on it. The bloody tower kept approaching it. Now, the mind attack from the White Wing was nothing to Luo Feng. A ripple came from the White Wing, and was passed to Luo Feng through Star Tower. Space Beast, said an ancient voice. The Golden Horned Beast pretended to be surprised and said, "Who are you?" "I am the spirit of the Wing True Treasure," said the ancient voice. The Golden Horned Beast made a surprised voice. "The spirit of the True Treasure? Then what's that mind attack and the blade storm?" The ancient voice continued, but Luo Feng secretly smirked. To get the White Wing back, Boat of Mausoleum was separated from Star Tower when it arrived at the periphery of Tilted Peak sector. Boat of Mausoleum was hidden in the chaos airflow around Tilted Peak sector, with the Earthling original body, and Shawu Wing while the Golden Horned Beast came to take the White Wing. Luo Feng knew for certain that once the two valuables were merged, the spirit of the White Wing would die. So if the White Wing saw Luo Feng coming, it would do everything it could to prevent Luo Feng from taking ownership over it, and it might even kill itself along with Luo Feng. Even though the White Wing was only an object instead of a life form, it shouldn't have terrifying skills. However, to make sure everything went smoothly, he allowed the Golden Horned Beast to go first. The White Wing only knew that he was human, it didn't know he had a Golden Horned Beast body. "Humph. After you recognize me as your master, you won't be able to do anything about it," thought Luo Feng. The Golden Horned Beast pretended to be incomparably excited to find a supreme true treasure, and he was talking with the spirit of the White Wing. The spirit of the White Wing rushed to recognize the Golden Horned Beast as its master, so he didn't lie to him the way he had lied to Luo Feng. Instead, it told the Golden Horned Beast the conditions directly. "I'm more powerful than you think," said the White Wing. "And because of that, the requirements are very high. If you're a Universe Knight, you must have the willpower of a Universe Supreme Master. And if you're a universe master, your willpower must surpass that of a universe supreme master. If you can't meet the conditions, tell the other great beings in your race to come. I've been lonely for too long, and I want to get out. The White Wing tried everything to persuade the golden horned beast. Luo Feng sighed. Wow. It was being so nice. It had been very sneaky when his original body had come in, yet now, it was so passionate. How? Are you being serious? Of course I am, said the White Wing. How? The golden horned beast looked extremely excited. He roared, it's great. I arrived here easily and withstood that mind attack, because my willpower is at the universe supreme master level. Also, I'm a universe knight, so I meet the conditions. The spirit of the White Wing was exhilarated. The thing it was most afraid of was being retrieved by Luo Feng, as that meant it would die. The whole process was very smooth under the guidance of the White Wing. Seal your godly power on the wing, and then I'll recognize you as my master. The White Wing was very cooperative. It wanted to leave the wing space more than anything, and it wanted to tell the new master that a human possessed another part of this true treasure. It wanted the new master to use it to kill that human. After that, it would swallow the spirit of Shawu Wing. I am the true spirit of the wing true treasure. That goddamn thing took so many energies from the origin. It has to die. The spirit of the White Wing hated Shawu's guts. It was instinct. Succeeded, the golden horned beast yelled. Master, the wing is also damaged, said the spirit of the White Wing. It needs to absorb some precious materials to recover, or swallow some pinnacle true treasures. After the White Wing being taken, the blade storms also disappeared, and the wing space became ordinary. Teleportation was possible now. The bloody tower reached the entrance after one teleportation. The spirit of the White Wing was thrilled. Finally. The legendary universe ocean. The bloody tower left Tilted Peak sector, and entered the deeper area of the chaos airflow. The boat of Mausoleum, in the size of a walnut, approached it and sucked it in. The golden horned beast was sitting inside Star Tower. I can feel it. The strong attraction. Master, it's that human. The human who has the component. The White Wing felt the calling. I used to be a mighty true treasure, but after that bloody war, it was dismantled, and the human got the other components. I can feel the attraction. He's nearby. The boat of Mausoleum showed up beside Star Tower, and a human walked out. He was wearing a silver wing and silver armor with a stone blade on his back. The spirit of the White Wing. Luo Feng looked at the White Wing on golden horned beast. You? The spirit of the White Wing immediately understood. It could feel the absolute command, that it had to do anything the human wanted. Ah? I should have let out all my energies. Damn human. The spirit of the White Wing roared, realizing that it would die soon. In case anything happened, said Luo Feng coldly. Now, it's time for you to die. Actually, a single thought from Luo Feng could annihilate the spirit of the White Wing. However, he preferred for Shawu Wing swallow it, as he could learn more. Merge. Luo Feng used his godly power to control it. The pair of white wings and the 4 silver wings floated in the sky at the same time and started to integrate. The components connected to one another, and the origin was transferred to the bottom silver wing. After all, the silver wing was complete, so it didn't need to worry about an energy leak. The power spread when they were being integrated. Such strong power, Luo Feng held his breath. This machine-type valuable must be better than the machine-type valuables used by Universe Supreme Masters. Luo Feng saw that the restructuring process was extremely complicated. The power stopped spreading, and the giant 6 wings were floating. The bottom 4 wings were complete. The top 2 wings had sharp edges, and there were lots of engravings on the edge, making them keener. According to the spirit of Shawu, the complete Shawu wing had 6 pairs. The other 5 pairs were like blade backs and blade bodies, while the white wing was like the edge. Come. The 6-winged true treasure flew toward Luo Feng and merged onto his back. The 6 wings shone. Without any godly power, the true treasure slashed the space in the control room easily. Even without the origin, it can rival a supreme true treasure. Luo Feng exclaimed. If I use my Nirvana Renaissance, it might only be weaker than my Blood Shadow Blade. If I use the origin. Unfortunately, I can't use the origin yet. The origin was like an engine. It was used to store energies. When great beings use the complete 6 wings, the godly power should infuse the origin, which would transfer the godly power into something more aggressive, energies in the form of blade storms. The energies could be stored in the origin, and in an actual fight, it could use the storage before using the godly power. However, the stored energies belonged to the former master instead of Luo Feng. He could infuse his godly power into the origin and transform it into blade storms, but it would be much weaker. When he used the origin, he had to expel the energies from the former master. The 2 kinds of godly power were at different levels, so they couldn't be stored in one place. Once it exploded, it would be used up at one time, but Luo Feng couldn't utilize even 1/10 of it. The only way he could use it was to infuse his godly power to expel the energies left by the former master. When the former energies were expelled all at once, it would be extremely powerful, so Luo Feng didn't dare to use the origin. He only used his godly power to drive Shiwu Wing, making Shiwu Wing work like an ordinary supreme true treasure. This video will end here.